Hi, this is Austin. Welcome to my channel. As 2025 came to the end, I realized that becoming a better investor isn't only about learning new strategy or doing more things right. Sometimes the biggest improvement comes from letting go of the habits that quietly hold you back. Over the past year, I spent a lot of time reflecting on my investing behavior, not just my results. I noticed that certain patterns didn't necessarily hurt my portfolio, but they did make the journey more stressful than it needed to be. Heading into 2026, I want my investing life to feel calmer, more focused, and more intentional. That's why this video isn't about what I'm adding to my strategy, it's about what I'm choosing to leave behind in order to become a better, more disciplined long-term investor. One of the first habits I'm leaving behind is checking my portfolio too often. For a long time, I told myself that staying informed was a good thing. But in reality, frequent checking only increased my stress without improving my results. Every small fluctuation started to feel bigger than it actually was, and my mood would shift based on numbers that didn't matter in the long run. The more I checked, the harder it became to stay emotionally neutral. Over time, I realized that long-term investing doesn't require constant monitoring, it requires trust in the process. By checking this, I give myself the space to think clearly, stay calm, and focus on decisions that truly matter over years, not days. Another habit I intentionally leave behind is overthinking short-term market movements. There were times when daily or weekly price changes occupied far more mental space than they deserved. Even when I didn't act on this thought, constantly analyzing short-term fluctuations drain energy and create unnecessary anxiety. I eventually realized that trying to make sense of every small move doesn't make me a better long-term investor. It just makes the journey heavier. Market moves for countless reasons, most of which don't matter over a multi-year horizon. By letting go of this habit, I am freeing myself to focus on what actually drives results: consistency, patience, and staying committed to a long-term plan. Another habit I am leaving behind is allowing market noises to influence how confident I feel about my investing decisions. News headlines, broad predictions, and strong opinions are everywhere, and even when I knew better, they sometimes plant unnecessary doubt in my mind. I found myself questioning a solid plan simply because someone else sounded more certain or more urgent. Over time, I learned that confidence doesn't come from absorbing more opinions. It comes from understanding your own strategy and trusting it through different market conditions. By reducing how much noise I consume, I am protecting my clarity and reinforcing confidence that builds on preparation, not external validation. One habit I'm actively leaving behind is comparing my progress to other investors. It's easy to look at someone else's returns, timeline, or portfolio size and feel like you are either ahead or falling behind. But over time, I realized that comparison rarely leads to better decisions. It usually leads to unnecessary pressure and self-doubt. Everyone's starting point, income level, risk tolerance, and life situation are different, so comparing outcomes doesn't tell the full story. When I start measuring my progress against others and focus instead of staying consistent with my own plan, investing became calmer and more sustainable. Letting go of comparison had helped me stay patient and confident in my own journey. The final habit I leave behind is the expectation that investing should feel exciting. Early on, I often assumed that progress would come with constant motivation, strong emotions, or sense of thrill. But the truth is, long-term investing is usually quiet and sometimes even boring. And that's not the problem, it's a sign of that system is working. When I start expecting excitement, I start feeling disappointed during calm periods and less time to chase unnecessary risks. Investing doesn't need to entertain me, it needs to be reliable. Letting go of its expectation had helped me appreciate stability, routine, and patience as strength rather than weakness. Letting go of this habit didn't change my strategy overnight, but it changed how I experience investing every day. I feel calmer when the market moves, more confident in my decisions, and less affected by the short-term noises. My focus is clear, my expectations are more realistic, and I am no longer carrying unnecessary emotional weight from things I can control. By removing this habit, I create more mental space to think long-term and stay disciplined without forcing it. Investing now feels more sustainable, not just financially, but mentally as well. And that shit alone has made me a better investor going into 2026. Letting go of this habit had a direct impact on how I approach investing in 2026. With less notice, fewer emotional reactions, and clear mindset, my strategy feels stronger even though it hasn't become more complicated. I'm able to stay focused on consistency, trust my long-term plan, and make decisions from a place of clarity rather than urgency. These changes don't show up as dramatic actions on the surface, but they quietly reinforce every part of my investing process. By removing what no longer serves me, I have made space for better discipline, better patience, and more stable foundation for years ahead. If there's one thing I'd encourage you to think about as you watch this, it's what habit might be holding you back without even you realizing it. It doesn't have to be everything at once. Maybe it's checking your portfolio too often, reacting emotionally to market moves, or comparing your progress to others online. Letting go of even one of these habits can make a big difference over time. Long-term investing becomes much easier when you remove the friction that creates stress and doubt. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to make the journey lighter, calmer, and more sustainable so you can stay invested long enough for your plan to work. As I move forward into 2026, this experience had reminded me that progress in investing isn't always about doing more, learning more, or adding more complexity. Sometimes the most meaningful improvement comes from doing less reacting, less comparing, less chasing, and less notices. By letting go of the habit that quietly drain my energy and focus, I have been able to strengthen the foundation that actually supports long-term growth. Investing feels clearer, calmer, and more intentional than it has ever before. And that's the mindset I want to carry with me into the years ahead. Steady, disciplined, and focused on what truly matters over the long run. Thanks for watching. I'm Austin, and see you next week.